Deep in the mountains of western North Carolina hides adventure. But you must look very close to see it. There are no signs promoting it, no maps to lead you there. No, these are the places that the locals don't dare traverse, and the visitor oblivious to its invitation. It is found, like most great things in life, by happenstance, an accident, or simply put, it's something that is stumbled upon. Once there, one feels like they are no longer in the Appalachians, no longer on the East Coast, and no longer in the South. Now you feel as if you're on another planet or another realm. A group of us would arrive together. We were mostly quiet as we hiked down from the Dragon's Tail Road, winding and whipping around mountainside and rock down to a riverbank. No matter what time of day you arrive, it always has a haze to its appearance, as if to be whispering to us, "Welcome to magic." From the base looking north, the river comes for us, rushing harder after a night's rain or bubbling softly after summer dryness. It comes for us, and it always will. In the group, there are one from every type. The precautious, the one slowly maneuvering around every branch, stone, or cliff, climbing around awkwardly on all fours if need be. The follower, not quite as awkward, yet doesn't quite trust his own way, so he follows anyone who leads. The ironic part is that by following, it becomes daunting, because the wet footprints ahead quickly turn the warm stones that once felt like sandpaper into a slippery platform for disaster. The ambitious, always trying to go faster, climb higher, and be the more daring, but not quite able to, and usually ended up on its backside, or more times than not, splashing abruptly into the water. The lollygagger, the slowest of them all, the group would find themselves turning back and wondering where he might have gone, only to see him crouched down, investigating a glittering piece of mica or looking into an undiscovered hole. And the natural, the one who moves from rock to rock, waterfall to waterfall, as if his hands and feet were made to stick, as if somehow he was glued to the earth. He never slipped, he never fell, he never misstepped. It was as if somehow this outsider was actually home, and just as much as part of this world as the water, the leaves, and the sunshine that shone down on them, creating moments of glitter and gold to entice them further. From where we began, the elevation increases 500 feet in less than half a mile. A canyon of rock split down the middle by cold mountain water. This was our ritual. We ran this route so often that we had names for each area of the climb. The first was Granite City, where massive granite boulders the size of houses rested. We would come running up the river, chirping like a band of wild Indians excited for a hunt. Shirtless, shoeless, and thoughtless, we found ourselves disappearing from reality, disappearing up the river, and disappearing from it all. We always stopped at Granite City and took a moment before we proceeded inside. And I say inside because that's what it feels like. It was as if Jules Verne was writing our surroundings as we encountered them, and we just kept going deeper and deeper into the center of the earth. After Granite City begins a progression of 3 major waterfalls. The first was the Winding Stair, the most manageable of the 3. Due to years of erosion, a distinct set of what looked like stairs wrapped themselves around the side of the falls, and although they were wet, thick green moss allowed for hand and footholds to give you assurance as you climbed inches away from raging water. The next falls we called Big Mist. It got its name because the drop and flow of the water was so high and so strong that it was hidden behind a massive wave of sparkling water. A spray so dense that it had the feeling of a downpour on even the driest day. Here, the lollygagger, the follower, and the precautious look for a safer way up. The ambitious and the natural do the opposite. With each movement calculated and strong, the natural finds a route that provides a challenge. And foot by foot, he ascends the rock toward the apex. There is no stress of the fall due to the deep pool of water below to soften a crash, if ever there was one. We all make it to the top, each with our own exaggerated story of how this time was crazier and how this time was more dangerous than any other. All eyes are wide and soaking with life. Some light up with anticipation, and others reel in with nervousness of what had just happened, and more importantly, what was to come. The third and final waterfall we called the Hot Gates. And like the 300 Spartans of Greece funneling in the Persians who attacked them, our Hot Gates, unlike the rest of the part of the river where there were multiple options and alternate routes, here there were none. Once you got beyond a certain point, there was no going back and there was no way out. We pushed forward toward the point of no return, and only the ambitious and the natural continue. The rest of the crew begin filing out of the river as to not take part in the risk that is the Hot Gates. The ambitious looks to the natural with a shaky voice and asks, "Where do we go now?" And with a mischievous grin, I reply, "The only way out is in," and upward I go. I lead the way and jump into white churning water. I grab for anything. Once hands touch rock, they stick. Like a tree frog, I am in my natural habitat. I pull myself straight up. With nothing more than clenched fingertips and toes, I secure my body and work toward a safe passage out. A slip provides a rush of adrenaline, and it happens, that oh shit moment, when you realize that if you don't hold on, you are sure to fail. That moment when there is nothing left to hold on to except for your heart. I have always attempted the Hot Gates, and I've never not made it. And the reason I do that is simple. There are moments in life when you can't deny the feeling of living, and this is one of those moments. Moments that we can all become too big to fail. Moments on a rock face, a river, or whatever the metaphor. The experience is what drives me, what whispers invitations to me knowing I can't resist. The idea that every move you make can be your last excites me, because to me the only way to know that you're really alive is when you're holding on for dear life.